New at 6 this morning, a judge hands down a sentence for two men who beat a Suffolk native in a parking garage during last year's deadly Charlottesville rally. All right, breaking right now, a scene unfolding in Chesapeake. We have reporter Nana Santubonsu out there on Airline Boulevard and Holly Cove Drive. Nana, what can you tell us? We're now in day 3 of the trial. The jury could get the case today and begin deliberating. Right now, police witnesses are speaking, including officers there the night Kager was shot. They say they feared for their own lives. Much of the municipal complex here has been taped off by police while they continue their investigation. If I step out of the way here, you can see this building right here. This is Building 2, and this is where those lives were taken so tragically. News 3 staying on top of this story today. 2 Wisconsin grandparents are on their way to Virginia Beach to pick up their grandson. Police say he was kidnapped by his own mother. Texas police say they're a little bit closer now to finding the woman who opened a carton of Bluebell ice cream, licked it, and then put it back in a Walmart display case. Yum. April, seeing some storms there on the radar, but earlier today things were really great. I walked my dog and it was a very pleasant morning, afternoon, all of it. You can add money to certain parts of the budget or you can take some money away, but in the end, you have to have a balanced budget. Right now we're seeing some rain, definitely some wind come into play here as well. In the meantime, I figured I'd just sit here on this park bench. The only problem is I had to put on some rain boots to get here. Yes, the Charles Creek here behind me, certainly wider than it's supposed to be right now. Minneapolis Convention Center, a great time, thousands of people there, a lot of locals. Some people, though, traveled hundreds of miles, thousands of miles, even halfway around the world to be here. A new location and better preparation for the infamous Floatopia event. This is what it looked like today on the beach in Norfolk's Ocean View area. News 3 reporter Kova Lasaki explains how organizers worked to make sure things ran smoothly this time. Pucker up. If you love pizza, now you can coat your lips in the flavor. Well, instead of telling you, why don't I just show you here with this makeshift hockey puck. We're gonna see how far this goes down the street. Good information, right? We were talking about the keypad thing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never thought to use multiple fingers to make it a little bit trickier, so
Yes.
good to know.
Aware though otherwise, right? Just
Absolutely.
checking both directions. You know, I don't know that the mid-'80s would ever feel cool, but I think after this week, probably.
Probably, yeah, it's gonna feel pretty good by then.
Breaking tonight, chaos in Charlottesville. Extremists converge on the city, leading to violent clashes with counter-protesters. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Anthony Sabella. Todd Carrillo has the night off. A violent day in Charlottesville as white nationalists clash with counter-protesters. One person was killed and 19 others were hurt when a car plowed through a crowd of demonstrators. The suspected driver in the crash has been identified as 20-year-old James Fields Jr. of Ohio. He's now in police custody facing second-degree murder charges. Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe declared a state of emergency to help with the emergency response. Alt-right activists and white supremacists planned to protest the city's decision to remove a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Police broke up the demonstration before it began when that fighting broke out. Meanwhile, Virginia State Police are investigating a helicopter crash that killed 2 of their own in Albemarle County, about 7 miles outside of Charlottesville. VSP just confirmed the pilot, Lieutenant Jay Cullen of Midlothian, and trooper pilot Burke Bates of Quinton died at the scene after the helicopter they were in crashed in a wooded area shortly before 5 o'clock tonight. The crash happened near a home, but we're told no one on the ground was hurt. State police say the Bell 407 helicopter was assisting officers with the ongoing situation in Charlottesville. Police are working to figure out exactly what happened, but say right now there are no indications of foul play. And just before the day turned deadly, there was a lot of violence at the Unite the Right rally. Brendan King has more from demonstrators on both sides of the issue. And lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are, of course, speaking out about today's events. Both President Trump and Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe strongly condemned the violence on display. Let's turn to weather now as we take a live look over downtown Norfolk with the News 3 Skycam. It was definitely a wet and gloomy day for a lot of us out there. So we're going to send things over now to meteorologist April Loveland in the Elephant Insurance First Warning Weather Center. And April, how much rain did we see today? All right, thanks, April. A coffee shop owner takes action and chases down a thief after a customer's purse is stolen. News 3's Kim Kong talked to the owner, and she's here now with the message that this owner wants to send to those looking to start some trouble. We have new information tonight on a deadly early morning stabbing in Portsmouth. Police say the victim is 40-year-old Darnell Phillips of Portsmouth. The stabbing happened on Maple Avenue near Duke Street just after midnight. When police arrived, they found Phillips stabbed in the chest. Police say he was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. And we're told this incident is being investigated as a homicide. No suspect information has yet been released. So if you know anything about this incident, take action and call the crime line. Hundreds of kids of military service members are now ready to go back to school thanks to some generous donations. Operation Homefront, along with other partners, distributed supplies to more than 1,000 kids for the upcoming school year. The organization has been doing this event since 2008 with the goal of building strong, stable, and secure families so they can thrive within the community. Now, organizers say giving back to military families is, of course, the right thing to do. Well, despite the rain, many people across Hampton Roads were able to make it out to the Virginia Beach oceanfront and support those with disabilities while surfing. The event is called Life Rolls On. 90 people with different disabilities got a chance to grab a surfboard and head out into the water. More than 300 volunteers were on hand to help during this inspiring event. Life Rolls On is a 3-day event that aims to motivate those who may have lost hope due to a disability. And we're just getting started here tonight as the Trump administration plans an investigation into China's trade practices. Still to come tonight, what the probe could mean for Chinese goods sold in the U.S. and why it may be connected to tensions between the U.S. and North Korea. Plus, planning on watching that solar eclipse will make sure you protect your eyes. The clarification you need to look for when buying your protective glasses. Welcome to the Geico Sports Report. I'm Anthony Sabella in for Mitch and Adam. We're now just 8 days away from Super Bowl 53. Both teams heading to Atlanta tomorrow. It's becoming routine, really, for the Patriots, who will be joined by the LA Rams. This is Tom Brady's 9th Super Bowl appearance with the Pats, the first coming in 2002. And picture this, NC State down 6 to Clemson with 30 seconds left. Then they clawed back within 1 with 6 seconds remaining. Clemson at the free throw line trying to at least guarantee overtime. Well, they missed both. Then this happened.
Beverly for the win! Got it! Unbelievable!
And how about that? Braxton Beverly's buzzer beater sends PNC Arena into a frenzy. History in Minneapolis, folks. That's right. Virginia wins its first national title in program history, taking down Texas Tech in overtime, 85-77. I was fortunate enough to be with fans throughout the very end of the game. There were cheers, there were tears, and frankly, just disbelief.